Aviator, and today we are going to fly the TBM 900 from Lexington, Kentucky to Birmingham, Alabama. The TBM is colloquially called the Red Streak because of the paint job, and this is going to be the aircraft. Now, I do like flying the TBM, and I'm just now starting to build up some experience in it. I flew a flight in it, I think it was yesterday, and let me turn traffic a little bit off and on. Yeah, um, get rid of that message. Yesterday I flew it, and I landed. I ran out of gas. Well, I ran short of gas on the way to my destination and had to land at an airport en route, which was actually my alternate airport. And lo and behold, I had a full load and I landed a little short of the runway. Can you believe it? I guess you can. Um, so that tells me that I need to do some work in this aircraft if I'm going to be able to fly it. Okay, so with that said, let's get in the inside where it's a little quieter. And I need to pop into FSE because FSE is going to put my gas in. So let me pop in now, log in, take my cap lock off, and put in my what I think is my password, and yeah, that does work. Okay, and go to my flight, and I should have a TMB rented, and come on. Well, it won't let me use the browser that I can fully share with you, so I'm gonna have to use the a different browser and get in um, my flight. So I want to see if I got the aircraft rented, and I do need to add some fuel because I only got 81 gallons on board, and I'm gonna fill it to 50%. Actually, I'm gonna add 175, bring the gas up to 175 gallons. Um, and invalid refilling parameter. Okay, so I have to choose who I'm buying the gas from. Pamsley Air only has 27 gallons, so I'm gonna have to get it from the local market. I'm gonna make it 100. Yeah, just bring it up to 175. But I'm cognizant of gas because I'm the one paying for the gas. All right, so um, if let's see if there's a way that I can show. Well, I can't show you because it's not letting me. I'm missing the scroll bar. Um, Let me check something. I still may be able to get the scroll bar back. Maybe the scroll bar is just not being seen. So if I go here, whoops, go here. Nope, it's not that. So I'm definitely missing the scroll bar. Okay, it's worth checking. So I've got just over half a tank of gas that's going to pop in when I um, load the flight. And I might as well go ahead and load the flight up now because I'm, like I said, I'm halfway through my checklist. So I've just loaded the flight up, and you can see now I've got 70, about 75% gas in the tanks. That should be enough to get me there. All right, and now I need to request taxi. I've already got my ADAS, but I didn't write anything down, so I have to get it again.
1100 Zulu weather. Wind 220 at 14 gust 20. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 6,500 broken, 8,500 scattered, 32,500 scattered.
Wow.
Temperature 13, dew point -7. Altimeter 3006. Arriving runway 22.
22.
Departing runway 22. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec.
Quebec. Okay. So I wrote it down that time. All righty. So I got Quebec, and we're going to take off on 22. Winds are really kicking this morning, and this is an early morning flight. The sun is coming up in the east. It's got out here, I guess it was about 5 something. Let's see if I can find a clock. See that 1904 is real time. So the sim time, if I can find a sim time, and timer. Okay, so I didn't code. Let's go back. Time reference. And I don't know where there's a clock in this aircraft. Get rid of that. And let's see if I can put that iPad up. I know I can't. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so clock. Is there a clock on this bad boy? Don't see one on the top. Don't see one over there. I don't recall ever seeing one here. And yep, no clock. Okay, well, let's keep going. It's sun's coming up. Time is waiting on no man or woman. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? So we go ahead and turn some lights on. Oh yeah, we gotta get our taxi permission to taxi, and ground is 121.9 and tower is 119.1. I did put that in. Okay, so I'm already on the ground frequency, and I can just go to COM1. I've got my mic on. Okay, and we're in Lexington. Lexington ground, TMB 4945 Foxtrot is ready to taxi with Quebec. We're at the GA1, and we'll be departing to the south. And then, of course, they would give me runway 22. Let's pull up Sky Vector so we can figure out what runway 22 is. Oh, come on. All right, so this is our airport down. Oh man, we in Atlanta? How we be in Atlanta? Oh, you know what? because I did not change it in this program. I did change it in the other. Okay, Lex K Birmingham, and let's just make this 0600, and that's on the 25th. And let's get rid of these guys here. And we only got one waypoint that's nulls. Otherwise, we're pretty much direct. Okay. And we're going to fly at, well, Sky Vector doesn't really care whether, so I'm not going to go any further with Sky Vector, but what was it I was looking for? Lost my train of thought. There was something that I was looking for at the destination airport. All right, so let's get out. Oh, no, not our destination, but our, our departure airport. And I want to know, I was interested, excuse me, in runways. Okay, so I'm at GA1, and GA1 ought to be up in here somewhere. Okay. Um, Looking at the buildings, I think I see those buildings. I think I'm not sure. I will pop out of the aircraft and look, but I think I'm gonna taxi via runway Alpha to runway Alpha to Alpha 7. Wonder what they got X runway X. I mean, not runway, but taxiway Alpha to Alpha 7. Okay, so let's get out of the aircraft here and look. Yeah, I'm gonna follow that jet there. Okay. All right. So taxi to runway 22 via Alpha Alpha 7 TBM 4945 Foxtrot. Okay, so taxi lights can come on, nav lights can come on, transponder can come on. I know it takes me a while to just turn on the transponder. Throttle, let's check out reverse and go in the taxi range. Now we can release our parking brake. And okay, got the toe brakes held, and we're off the toe brakes. We in taxi range, and we can start our taxi. Taxi to runway 22, and let's just check our brakes. Right brake, left brake, clear to the left. And I know I'm moving, shouldn't be moving. Clear to the right, and go ahead and taxi on out. And let's find the yellow brick road. That's gonna take us there. Want to always stay on this yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. And let me get rid of this belt. My bad. Oh, habits that hard, right? All right. What I don't want to do in the TBM is ride the brake, because I can literally burn the brakes up. They can get so hot that I can't put them in the window in the wells until they cool off. Okay, I think this is Charlie, uh, and I think this is going to be Alpha here. I think Charlie goes straight across, and Alpha goes off to the right. And there's a jet that I'm following. Okay, yeah, I'm on Alpha and Alpha 7. This is Alpha 6. This is our whole short line. All right, and we're gonna hold those toe brakes, set this parking brake, and it is set. Now we're gonna do a quick run up. So we're gonna take this guy to flight idle, check. P-talk and P-talk heater comes on, counts of the alarms. Ramp up to 1100, check. Okay, throttle, see, ramp up to 1100. And I'm already there, actually. And then do what? Throttle to high idle. And I think high idle is over in this corner, but I can't go to high idle without feathering. Okay, and then RPMs back to 1100. So this is my RPMs here. They're coming up. And see, this should be in flight idle, I think, for 1100. And we're good. Okay, everything else is checked off and CAS messages are as expected. All right, the ice test. I'm looking for a drop in amps. I'm getting it. And so I did get the okay, I'm also, okay, then turn them all off. My amp should return to normal. And, okay, and then amps did go back to normal. And generator, let's turn that big guy off. so generator off. Okay, I get my warning light, my master caution that is, and check amps and voltage. And voltage is in the yellow. No, um, amps is minus 27. Yep, so it's definitely pulling some amps. And it's pulling it all off the battery. And now I can see my amps and volts coming back up. Okay. And I did get the CAS message. Okay, flaps test. And I'm just gonna pull them all the way down. Okay. And they're going all the way down. Check on MDF. Yep. Landing. Okay. Then they go all the way back up. And they're all the way up, back up, even on the MDF. Okay, so I'm good there. All breakers are in, and before takeoff. Okay, so make sure that my controls are free and clear. Flaps go to takeoff, landing, and the icing switch comes on. The icing is, I'm not going to turn that on at the moment. Elevator trims is set to take off. Rudder trim and aileron trim is set. Cast messages as expected. ATC. Okay, so now I can request takeoff. And Lexington is where we are. Lexington Tower. What would help if I change to tower frequency? Disregard. All right, so I did key my mics. I just tell them to disregard that. All right, Lexington Tower, TMB 4945 Foxtrot is at runway 22, ready to depart to the south, Lexington. I didn't need to say Lexington, but I did. And they would clear me for departure. So let me check, make sure I don't see anything landing, and I don't. Clear for takeoff, runway 22, TBM 4945 Foxtrot. I don't like my tail number. Okay, so go in here and set my taxi range. Let's see now. Make sure I'm in taxi range here. I don't want this bad boy to tax it like a bat out of hell. And I need to set my, get on my yellow brick road here. Oh man, I was holding at the whole short line for marginal. Okay, so okay, go here and set brake. That my landing light is on. Okay, toe brake, set brake, headset, transponder. Can go to alternate, and I am doing a VFR flight, so I'm still squawking 1200. I'm just gonna make up a number here. 2231. All right. And that's my transponder code. Master warning comes off because I put the part brake on. That's why it came on. Let's take the brake off and press our to go button. Not sure what that does. Okay. And autopilot and SID is okay. That's got the 3 ampersand, so I'm not sure how that's checked off. Maybe if I hit this to go button, I don't know what that. I think that's the to go button. And I better get out of here because Traffic Global could have something coming in behind me. All right. And all right. And brakes are off. Rotate at 90 knots. 80. 90. Rotate. Positive rate. Tap the brake. Gear up. Flaps up. Yaw damper comes on. And landing light switch can go off. Initial separator can come on. And I call it can go off. I mean, I don't know why I keep calling it the initial separator. It's the inertial separator. Okay, 124 should be my climb speed. Looks like I'm about where I should be. I'm capturing my initial altitude. And the autopilot can come on. And climb and maintain 10,000. And nav. Let's make my turn to the south. Oh man, pay attention to that torque. When I turned that initial separator off, I've forgotten the effect that it has on the torque, which is not modeled in the PC-12 that I fly. But just about everything is modeled and modeled correctly in the TBM900, which is why it's such a nice aircraft to fly. Okay, so the last time I flew it, I was getting a frame rate between 19 and 20. Um, with the same view today, I'm getting a frame rate between 25, 24 and 25. Go figure. In fact, I can put this up and you can monitor the frame rate along with me. So this is my frame rate right here on the iPad, the FPS. All right, so still in my initial climb to 10,000, and as you can see, the winds are really up, but this turn, as this turn here on to the course, so I'm actually good. And let me check, make sure everything is in the green. Everything is in the green. Cabin pressure is in the green. Differential is going up. Oxygen pressure is going up. Fuel has a slight imbalance, but not enough to register on the CAS. So that should get corrected. I got slightly more in my right tank. Okay, it just switched to my right tank. And so it should normalize, excuse me, with any luck. Electrical look good and votes look good in the green. Trims are all in acceptable ranges. Flaps are up, and we are good to go. All right. Climb and maintain 20, 20,000. Okay. So let's go ahead and put that up to 20,000. I think our cruise altitude today is 24. Whoops. So let's change that to 20. And we'll break on through these clouds. Now, when I played the ADAS, they said I had clouds even at 32,000 feet today. So we should break out of the clouds and then wind up back in them. Let's see, what do I have for? I'm gonna pop into Sky Vector right quick because I want to see the frequency for, let's see, the frequency for, okay, I see it here. Okay, so looks like we should be tuned to Lexington Approach, which is probably approaching departure. That's usually the case on 120.75. So let's go ahead and dial that in. But first, let's get rid of the map. Something that I tend to pull up and forget to pull it down. Okay, so 120.75. And 120. Bring that down. 76, 755, 75. Drop that in the back box. And Lexington Approach. TBM900 Foxtrot is climbing through 13,000 for 20,000. And they would give me they would tell me what my altimeter is. But in this case, and we would repeat that back. 3006 949 4945 Foxtrot. Why I have such a hard time with that number, with that tail number. Okay. And give ourselves a little bit more torque now. I think our NG is going to become our limiting factor. So as soon as I get to 17.5, I can go ahead and change the altimeter to standard. And as you can see, in these clouds, there is nothing to see. So up, up, and away. Now let's see if we got any weather on our scope here. Next ride, so we'll go ahead and turn that on. The terrain is not going to be an issue. And we go ahead and leave traffic on. Alright, so now we can go to standard, which is going to be over here. And standby on altitude VFR code ident back. Shoot, I hit the wrong button. Obviously, let's see, ADL, CDI, OBS, pilot, stand-up barometer. There we go. And looks like we've got ourselves a tailwind. Let's look at our ground speed. Oh, I'm sorry, headwind, 30 knot headwind. It says H for head. It's just that I know I'm going south, and this is pointing what looks like south, so that's how I got a tailwind out of that. Okay, so we're leveling off, and we still hadn't gotten to our cruise altitude. We're still waiting on ATC to jack us up another 4,000 feet. And we can actually turn the timer off, get that off our screen. Climb and maintain 20,400, 24,000 feet. Flight level 240. Okay, so we just cleared to flight level 240. So let's dial this guy up to 240. And let's get our vertical speed set to lift us up at 1,000 feet a minute. So it'll take us 4 minutes to get up to 240. That's easy math. Now that math I can do. I can do the math. All right. And we do need to set this guy here to standard. Okay. And annunciators and cast messages are all as expected. No need for initial separators. So it looks like we're in cruise. Well, we should be approaching cruise. Chat list cruise. And throttle adjust, pressurization should be in the green. And we check our fuel. So yeah, we just go ahead and hit this guy now and check our pressures. 5.4 is our max diff, I think. So I'm glad that the aircraft computers handle that, and I don't have to worry about it. Fuel. See, I got over half a tank, and no cast messages, and so that they look good. Breakers are all in. And we're gonna pop one out just so we can see what a breaker look like when it's out. Find one that's not critical. Cabin doors. So that's what it looks like out. Okay. And checklist. Cruise. All right, so we've been through all this good stuff once. And few annunciators. Okay, so if it was raining, snowing, precipitating, that inertia SEP will come on. Let's see, chat list, and I'm gonna do the open chat list this time, so it'll be persistent. Chat list, open chat list. Okay. So our initial steps would be on 1,000 to go. Ignition switch should be in the on position. Yep. Well, it's actually in auto. It should be in the auto position. Okay, if it was raining, then we'd turn the initial switch in the on position, or snowing or icing. Okay, so that's good to know. If required snow or icing, then we'll pull our alternate air, which is this guy here. So we'll pull that out and then set our de-icing. All right. And alternative air switch. We also got an alternative air switch. Alternative static. This is alternative static. So where's our alternative air? Okay, this is RAM air. And I don't actually know where our alternative air switch is at. Must be on this panel here on the environmental controls system. Okay, but I don't see an alternative air. That's something else that we need to make a mental note to ask a TBM pilot about. And actually had one pop in the other day, and I didn't ask him. Okay. And we're not in descent, so let's get outside, and I mean not get outside, but let's just look out our windows. And now we're at the part of the flight where the pilot can do some relaxing. The biggest things that we'd be doing is changing frequencies as as we cross into different ATC um, agencies, controlling agencies, and we'll be monitoring our, um, keep doing constant sweeps on our gauges to make sure that everything, all of our parameters stay where they should be. And I just accidentally turned the brake on. Okay, so passengers, do we have any back there? We are doing a FSE flight, which means that we do have some passengers. I don't see any, um, but with this aircraft, let's see, this is the TBM900. I believe you can turn the passengers on and off. Tutorials, configure, visual effects. Warn about low frame rates, exhaust particles, rain, ice. Yeah, I want that on. Um, turn off visual effects here. I mean, all right. Electrical engine temperatures, gear info, setup, chart, access. Now, what is that? I'm not sure what this is. Your simulator is running low on frames. Yep, look at that. I'm at 18. I surely am. Save. And I don't know what this is. So I'm not going to turn it. Well, I am going to turn the passengers on because I think anybody who is watching deserves to see passengers. Um, if I can figure out how to turn them on. Let's see. Now, console. So let's turn that off. And all of this stuff over here actually works with this TMB, I think. Um, license, hot fix, and can't really read that. Gizmo, trigger thresh. I'm not sure what that does. Um, and reboot button. Don't want to hit that. And shell. Don't need to go to the shell. Okay, so the menu has disappeared, and I thought there was some more menus in this aircraft that could be pulled up for other views, and there may be um, X camera may be overriding them. I'm not sure. Okay. So now this is where, this is where I wonder if real world pilots feel bored when they on these flights. Like this flight is, um, shoot, I forget how long it is, but you know what? I am flying way too slow for me to be flying a TBM. Um, my Pilatus goes faster than this. So add a little bit more torque. And I noticed I didn't get a power chart for this aircraft that I normally, like I do on the Pilatus. I wonder if that means that I can just set the torque wherever I want as long as I keep it in the green. But I am limited by my NG. As you can see, my NG is at 101%. Put the throttle back just a touch, and so that tells me I can't can't fly any faster. I am flying at 240 knots over the ground. Indicated is 196, and I still got a headwind of 39 knots. Well, I got in a crosswind component of 57 knots. Now, suppose I had a tailwind, then as you can see, man, I would be really covering some ground in a hurry. And I'm right between the lower clouds and the upper clouds. I do know I got cloud bases at 32,000. And I think the cloud tops below me are 31,000. Oh man, my frame rate has dropped to 15%. Let's see. Which tells me, I'm going to keep it right there for right now. The reason, if it gets too slow, I'm afraid the sim might crash, which it might crash anyway. This might be a mistake, but I am going to look at my task manager in Windows and see what I see. Okay, so I got my task manager up. My CPU is at 84%. My memory is at 50%. My disk, okay, disk is fine. The disk that's running X-Plane is at 0%, so it's not being stressed out. But when I look at my light, my read-write access light on the computer itself, I do see it on, but I don't see any percentages alive on the disk read-writes on the task manager. Anyway, my CPU is at 82% now, and my GPU is at 46%. So my GPU is not being stressed at all. My CPU is running as fast as it can. And I think I've been saying that I had the i7 7600. Turns out I've got the i7 6700, which is I think that's a 6th generation processor. So a newer processor is somewhere in my future. I think my bottleneck is my processor. not my GPU. So right now I'm showing 23 frames per minute. And I think if I had a faster processor, I could probably get double the frames per minute at, at the same settings. And if any of you guys are interested in what my graphic settings are set up on, I'll just show them real quickly. So I got my see visual effects. Let's see, trying to get the text bubble to pop up. One of these puts the load one. I think the number of real world objects and reflection detail. I think that put the load on the CPU, and everything else on the left here puts the load on the graphics card. So I probably could take this guy up a notch if I wanted to, and even my texture. Um, but in doing that, I probably need to lower. Yeah, there's my text button. It popped up just for a second. Increasing this slider will increase the number of objects drawn. This impacts your CPU usage. Yes, I was right. So, so with that said, I want to probably I may need to decrease the load on my CPU if I'm going to fly the the TMB, the TBM. I said enough. I get it memorized. TBM. But again, this is the sports plane, the sports car version of the single prop aircraft. I don't know that any single prop aircraft flies any faster than the TBM, which makes it such a sweet aircraft to fly. Um, it's been likened to a a prop that performs like a jet. So it's a really fast aircraft for single prop. And right now, I'm moving over the ground at 250 knots. That's probably going to be about 275 miles per hour. I could actually do the math to tell you exactly if that's correct. Let's see. Let me just pop up my calculator app, and what I got 250 times 1.15 equal 287 miles per hour. So I was actually way too conservative. Oh man, just I just remembered the debates come on some channel tonight, and I do want to watch them. So, how long do I have? I got ETA to the next. Let's see. I think the next waypoint is 40 minutes. Let's see, and let's look at what we got in this window. Let's make it bigger, and okay, ETA is 39 minutes. I'm not sure whether that's to my next waypoint or to the to my destination. How can I find out? 162 nautical miles. Now I could do the math and figure it out. Let's try it. Um, let's see. I'm moving at two. Uh, Now this is I flunked algebra. No, I didn't. But math is something that I can't really see in my head like some people. And so setting up the problem has always been a issue for me. But I think I want to divide my speed, my my distance by my speed. All right, so my distance that I have is 158 nautical miles divided by the 251 nautical miles I'm moving, and that's 0.62, um, and multiply that by 60 minutes, and that gives me 37.76 minutes. And so that 37 minutes is to the waypoint and not to the destination. Okay. So, we're getting better weather, at least to our east. Out of my left window should be my, out of my left window should be my east because I'm flying south. And my, in the west should be to the right. Okay, so if I'm 6 minutes, I need to start getting down. Okay, so let's descend and maintain 16. Actually, they wouldn't give me such a big drop, but I am gonna take a big drop. So 16,000 and vertical and vertical, and let's descend at 7. And let's watch our overspeed. So far I'm okay. Let's descend at 800. And down we go. Let's see if we can't be seen from the ground. All right, so we are on the ground and we are looking up where the aircraft ought to be, and there we go at 20,000. Now, it's a shame that I can't see that I can't that I have to be zoomed in about right here to see us. Um, but it is what it is. All right, back in the cockpit. And we are bleeding off speed. And I really need to get me a top of a descent, a top of climb. Uh, I need to pay more attention to my instruments, because in real life I don't get these text warnings across the screen across the screen. But in real life, when I started a descent, I would have pulled back on the power anyway. I would not have decided, well, let's see how fast we can go, especially with passengers aboard. And also, well, of course, the airframe has its tolerances. All right, so I wish someone would do the model the PC-12 to the extent that this one is modeled, where basically everything is everything works. The PC-12 has a bunch of systems that are there, and you can turn them off and on, but they're not tied to anything. Turning them off and on does not do anything. Um, let's see. Now, I wonder if we got any traffic out there. I don't see any traffic. Uh, okay, so these red labels that are popping up would be traffic, and I don't have anything in front of me. Well, this is 23 nautical miles from me at flight level 24, 20,407. So the reason I'm curious, I want to see if that's showing up on my TCAS. And let's see, back. And, okay, I see these little, I think these are some sort of waypoints. But 20 something, that's 27 nautical miles out of show. Maybe this is it. Is that, you think that might be an aircraft or a waypoint? I'm not sure. Um, One way to find out is to see if I can't turn traffic off and it didn't go away, so that's not traffic. And but I'm dialed in to 2 nautical miles, so, and that aircraft was 20 something nautical miles away, so of course I wouldn't see it. Okay, so I'm 25 nautical, got a 25 nautical mile view now, and just need to find an aircraft that's within 25 nautical miles of me, and nothing, nothing. So I'm gonna leave my labels turned on. Hopefully something will show up. I tell you what, I got traffic on. I'm gonna turn declutter off. I'm gonna declutter some of this stuff. Your simulator's running slow, and the yeah, so, oh man, I'm down to 15. 17. Yeah, I'd be lucky if I don't if the sim doesn't crash before I get to my destination. All right, looks like I am gonna be punching through clouds. pretty soon. So, you guys remember what our cloud procedures are? Okay, so for if it was raining, then I would turn on my alternate static and my de-icing. But for clouds, I just need de-icing. Actually, I don't even need de-icing necessarily. But I do need my inertial separator. So the TMB, got plenty of traffic out there, just don't have it in front of me. Those red labels that you guys are looking at, that's traffic. And I think for traffic global, the view is I've seen traffic up to I think about 85 knots away. So a lot of these red labels is traffic that is absolutely positively no factor. No factor at all. And I'm hoping to get some traffic that is a factor just to see if it shows up on my TCAS uh, on this display here in the middle. All right, so let's turn this guy off and turn the whole thing on, make the whole thing light up. So I'm starting to learn this glass system. Okay, so I see something in red here. What does that mean? 10,400. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and descend to 10,400. Don't, not saying that that's what that means I should do, but that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this button here and 10,400. ATC would, in reality, give me steps to get down. Um, and somewhere along the line, I picked up information that it's better to come down in steps than to come straight down. Um, of course, this step here, I didn't let the plane level out or slow down at all. Okay, so I should be punching through these clouds directly. So I am going to go ahead and turn on my inertial seps. And let me turn them off just for a second and look at my amps. All right, so this is my amps. And it's not a heater. It's actually kind of a door that opens, and when it finishes open, then I get a CAS message that will let me know that it's open. So it doesn't even open instantly. You know, as I look at my way forward, I probably don't even need my inertial seps. All right. So Now I just looked, and this thing says that I'm flying the C-152. And how did that happen? Because when I filled out the form that said I'm flying the TBM, and it says I'm flying the C-152. Thank you, Twitch. All right, so my inertial sep is going off. I don't think I need it. I'm at 14. I've got 22 minutes to go, and let's see, how far do I have? I've got 94 nautical miles before I reach Nils, and then from there I got 30 nautical miles to Birmingham. So I wonder why did that thing get my, why did it didn't change to the flight that it, that's disappointing. Oh well, that's life, right? Okay. So it could have been worse. So engine is producing too much power, so let me pull it back on this. I gotta remember to watch that torque. So I'm up under the bases now. Still too far out to get an ATIS, but I can go ahead and look up the ATIS for my destination. So let's do that. So we are flying to, come on. There we go. So this is the nails, and it's not even a VOR, it's just a GPS waypoint. Okay, so let's see. So winds are calm and got clouds at 10,000, visibility is 10,000 statute miles, broken at 25,000. Altimeter is 2991. And winds are calm, so I'm not sure which runway is their default runway. But ATIS is 0.4 and control tower is 0.9, and ground 1,000 to go is 0.7. So ATIS is tower is 0.9, ATIS is 0.4, and everything is 119. So ATIS is ATIS is 0.4, tower is 0.9. Okay, so let's move this to tower. Let's go backwards, get there quicker. All right, let's put that in the box. Let's change it to COM2. ADAS is 119.4. And put that in the box. Jump back up here, and tower was 121.7. I mean, ground was 121.7. Okay, so our radios are tuned, and that helps us stay ahead of the aircraft. Okay, so send it. I can descend to. Let's see how far we are out. 72 knots. So I'm just gonna stay right here at 10-4 for a while. And then those knots coming down. My frame rate has increased back up above the 14 frames per minute that I was getting at one point. And yeah, I'm not sure. Well, my frames, I'm sure they're caused by my CPU. Because I got, if the CPU is running at 85 and 90%, then that doesn't leave much processing to do anything that's thrown at it for any interrupts. So the interrupts have to wait until the processor can say, okay, I've got some resources that I can allocate to this other process, or I can slow down everything so I can process everything at one time. That's the way computers think. They don't think like we do. All right. So let's get rid of this guy here and go back out. And I'm still hoping to see traffic, these red labels within 25 miles, so I can see them show up here on my TCAS. I think I got traffic turned on, and I do. I got topology turned on, which I don't really need. Not in Alabama, so I can actually turn that off. And I got next ride turned on, so I can see any weather that's gonna pop up. Now, weather's not in real time. It lags a few minutes, which has gotten pilots in trouble before, from what I've seen, because sometimes pilots look at the next ride and they see a gap and they go, oh, I can get through that. But if the weather is, 5 or 10 minutes old, and by the time they get to it, that gap's closed up and they in weather that can tear up the aircraft. So you definitely don't want to plot courses using next ride. Okay, so 211 knots over the ground, 191 knots indicated, and a 16 knot headwind with a 8 knot crosswind component. So that's what we're dealing with. This little circle here should be in the middle, and it would be if we didn't have that crosswind component, but it actually show the crab angle of the aircraft to get to the destination that we're flying. So we are crabbing just a little bit. And I'm keeping the labels turned on so I can see if any traffic might show up on our TCAS if we can get close enough to it. Now I'm at 17 frames per second per minute. Now I'm at 5. It jumped down to 5. Uh-oh, got rain. Okay, so we got rain. That might be why I'm back up to 18. Let's see, outside air temperature is faster, faster, faster. Where's my outside air temperature? Up here, right? Right here. -8 Celsius. So we need to turn on the inertia. Well, we know we want to pull on our alternate static air, turn on our inertia separator, our windshield, our prop de-ice can come on, and might as well turn on our airframe de-icing because we are below freezing at 10,000. And just to play it safe, because I do have passengers, so go ahead and turn on the windshield de-icing. And I was not expecting rain. So the bell was to let me know that my inertia separators opened up. And the terrain looks kind of hilly, doesn't it? But at 10,000, it's not an issue. And I didn't see the rain on next ride. And next ride should be modeled. Maybe it's something else that I have to do. I got a 100 nautical mile look ahead, and I do see our, well, I got a 50-mile look ahead because I got a 100 nautical mile radius, so I can see 50 miles behind me and 50 miles in front of me. So I know I should be within 50 miles of my waypoint. So let's get down a little bit further. Let's descend and maintain 6. And hopefully that would get us out of the out of any icing conditions. All right. And we'll descend at 700. And picking up speed as expected. Looks like we would need to get permission to transition a Class C here. Let's pop into this guy here and see whose Class C we're running through. Okay, so this is Huntsville, Alabama. And 125.6. And so it's really too late. I'm already on top of the Class C. 125, 125.6. Huntsville Approach, TMB 4945, Foxtrot, good evening. Would like to transition Class C. And I'm not sure what else to say. Oh, my location. Ident. Here's an ident. So they would probably want me to ident. And so I'm clicking the button, but I'm not. Oh, there's ident in the little thing. So I clicked it a bunch. Transition Class C on route TMB 4945 Foxtrot. I'm not sure that makes sense. And not only that, but there's a little restricted area in the class in there, and I'm definitely too low to, let's see, well, actually, as long as I'm above 46, get over here. As long as I'm above 4600 and below 24, then I'm okay. But there is this restricted area that I would have been vectored around. Okay, but I'm not being vectored, so let me turn the map down. And map, go away. Come back another day. All right. So it looks like we're out of the rain. Outside air temperature has increased to what? What was that reading? Um, -2 degrees Celsius. I'm at 78 for 6,000. So I should be able to turn off my de-icing systems shortly. And I am 9 minutes from destination. So there's a debate tonight, a Democratic debate, and that I do want to watch. I heard that it started at 8, but I'm thinking like the rest of them, it probably more realistically starts at 9. And I am going to watch it as soon as I finish this flight. Okay, so outside air temperature, are we up yet? Okay, we are at 0. So I think once we get this last 1,000 feet, then we would be above freezing. The rule is generally what, about 3 to 4 degrees per 1,000 feet. So now I'm above freezing. So icing in the ice that may have built up on that should be breaking away. And I am going to turn off my de-ice, my airframe ice. Is it still raining? Nope, no rain. Close my static air. My inertial cells can come off. My windshield heat can come off. And my prop de-ice can come off. I think the prop uses a glycol solution, and the um, the wings use boots, I do believe. Um, I could be wrong. So I didn't capture my 6,000, so I didn't arm it. So let's change this to 55 now. Actually, we can go ahead on and descend to 4,000. Okay, descend and maintain 4,000. What happened here? Descend and maintain 4,000. Down. And with this, it's hard to tell whether it's going to capture it automatically for me. I guess it will. Well, that's not 1,000 to go, so I'm not sure. Five minutes from my waypoint. And procedure. Let's see if we can get a ATIS.
Birmingham International Information
Romeo.
1200 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable.
Light and variable.
Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 8,500 broken. 34,500.
Base is at 8,500.
Temperature 12. Dew point -1. Altimeter 3021. Arriving runways 2418. Departing runways
24 and 18.
Advise on initial contact. You have Romeo.
Romeo. So, got Romeo. Altimeter is 3021. And 3021. So the airport is at 1,069 feet. That's going to give me a pattern altitude of 2,100 feet at 1,000. Or for turbo, I think I can add 500. So that's 2,600 feet. Okay, so we'll take the 26 on the pattern. Well, I'm not sure. I think the 500 is for the jets. I'm not real sure, so I'm not even going to go there. Back. So let's look at an airport diagram. We've got 2 minutes before we make the turn. And Birmingham, Let's see now, what airport are we at here? Okay, that's the wrong one. Well, I have 2 minutes, so I want the longer airport. All right, so 18 and 24 is our airports, and if I take 24, I get a 12,000 foot runway. I've got a 7,000 foot run, 7,100 foot runway at 18, plus it gets me closer to my FBOs. So I'm gonna take 18, and looks like my FBOs are gonna be on the right. Okay, so approach, select approach. How do you do this? Uh, menu. Got 1 minute, and I'm at 2,500 feet. All right, let me fly the airplane. Autopilot comes back on. Altitude select. Altitude hold is on at 2,800 feet. Okay. And flight plan. Okay, turn all that stuff off. And now it's downloading some chart information. There's my turn. And I got 30 nautical miles to the destination. That should put me looking at the, I did it again. I forgot to get rid of my map. That should get me almost lined up with the runway that I want. Okay, I'm gonna turn my terrain on, like it's pretty hilly out there. Topography. All right, let's see. So we'll turn those on. And we never did load and approach. Shucks. And if I'm afraid at this point, if I try to load an approach, I am going to get behind the aircraft. So I am starting to slow down. I got 7 minutes before I get to my ETA. Wow, did you see that graphics on the PD, on the MDF, the MFD? Let's see, 20 nautical miles. And I'm actually not on course. So let me turn my nav back on. And so I'm looking at the aircraft on the PDF, and it looks like I'm turning off course. Okay, turn that back on. Nav is turned on. Yaw damper is on. I didn't do my descent checklist. Too late for that. Approach.
Getting slow.
And give it some power here. Don't want to give it too much. Okay, radar mode soft key. I'm not sure what that means, but that should be off. Back system. I don't see a radar mode soft key, but I do see something that I saw in a other checklist that I didn't know where it was at, so that helps. Throttle adjusts, I've done that. 144 over the ground, indicated. 155 over the ground, field selector. Goes to manual. And I want to be on my fullest tank, which is my right tank. Landing's light can come on, and flaps can go to takeoff. All right. Oh man, I am turning away from the airport. It's my aircraft. Master caution. Yaw damper can go off. Okay, my airport should come into view anytime. I don't see it. Should be off my nose somewhere. Is that it over there? And let's see, how far am I? Just maybe still too far from it. ETA 9 minutes. And I am gaining altitude. Don't want to really do that. Pull back on the power just a little bit. And bring up my flight plan. I'm 22 nautical miles away, so yeah, I wouldn't see it right now. Okay, so set my heading book to the course that I'm flying right now, and arm it. Arm it. There we go. And why am I gaining so much altitude? I'm fighting the stick. So, oh, don't want to do that. All right, so, but I got a lot of back pressure on this stick. Y'all, damper should have came off. Altitude select should not be on. So, but it still want to, it still, see, down, down, down. Vertical speed, down. And 700 feet a minute. Okay, so still looking for that airport. Menu, flight plan. and 18 nautical miles now. I'm gonna leave it up, and crossing through. See, I'm about, say, 2000 AGL. I think the airport is at 1069, which I can round up to 11. I thought I'd changed that to. So I want 21. And I'm a hand fly it in. Okay, below 1500 feet, my inertial separator should come on. I'm a little bit far out for my landing gear, I feel, and I'm scanning for that airport. Okay, so let's fly back to. Then my nav, I didn't turn the nav on, but it's on. I thought I turned it off. Let's see, so altitude, all right. And okay, so heading comes off, nav is on. So why is it not lining up? Go out some. So I'm missing the airport. All right, so heading, turn the nav off, and let's fly 130. Ah man, I'm turning the wrong way. Shoot. Get this thing. This thing should be able to pop out. There we go. 130. It's not what I want. 190. And 9 miles out. So there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to see it. Okay. And get rid of this guy here so I can see where I'm at. Look like I'm lining up for 2-1, which 2-1 is not what I want. I want 180. But I don't see the airport. Is that? This is why it's oftentimes easier to do this stuff coming in. Let's see. Still need to turn a little bit. Okay, I think I see it. All right, so let's slow down a little bit. think it's right behind this guy here. Yep, there it is. All right, it's my airplane. And okay. Birmingham Tower TMB 4945 is on right base, left base for 18. Clear to land runway 18 TBM 4945 Foxtrot. Okay. So gear can come down. Initial self can come on. Come on, inertia self. Okay. And I need to drop down in my seat so I can see the runway, and I need to line up now. All right, get rid of this guy. Okay, don't want to get too slow. Flaps. Way too high. Initial self is on. Way too high. And 1,700 feet. So I need to dive in here. Had to find the airport. This is where other streamers start asking for landing predictions. And got feet on the rudder pedals, and still a little high. Of course, still haven't touched the glide slope, so I probably would be just above the touchdown point. Hold that middle line. Okay, transition. Power back. Find that middle line. Another. And our FBO is going to be to the right. We had looked it up earlier. Okay, going into beta range for taxi. And we should be in beta. Yep. And we are on the ground. Acceptable landing. VY is minus 227. Terrible. Terrible. I came in way too high. And let me turn the terrain off, get rid of all that red. On the TMB, which what I don't want to do is ride the brakes. I want to stay in taxi range because the brakes will get too hot. I think this aircraft has I think the brakes on it are fairly small. Okay, Birmingham Tower TMB 4945 Foxtrot is clear to runway. Request taxi to the FBO. Taxi to the FBO. TMB 454 Foxtrot 4545 949 4945 Foxtrot. That's a hard number for me to say. I don't like that tail number. Okay, so what range am I in? I can't really tell until I go. Okay, now I'm in taxi range. All right, so we'll make our next, not this right, but the next right, park and shut down, let our FSE passengers off and bank our money. If I was smart, I would let those guys off right here, right now. Oh man, I forgot to clean up my aircraft. I can do it right now. All right, so taxi lights come on and flaps come up. I mean, that's all that I need to do to clean it up. So it ain't like cleaning it up is hard. Just keep forgetting. And I need to get up here and there's a make-believe marshal. He's telling me to come straight in, and then he's crossing his arms, and they're crossed. All right, and brakes. Okay, toe brakes go up, park brakes come on, and and throttle above. Yeah. Flaps up. Yeah, done that. And clear runway. Strobe lights can come off. And let me go ahead and let these passengers out. I generally like to shut the aircraft down before I let them out. Let's see, I got the brakes on. The flight should be ending. And Birmingham, I should be at Birmingham. So I should get right here in this green box a way to finish the flight. And unless I'm at the wrong airport, which is entirely possible. Okay, strobes are off, transponder go to standby. Transponder standby. All switches down. And I'm gonna go out here and see what airport I'm at. Let's see. So how can I tell off all you flights? Hey, down there. Yep, it's the TBM900. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for saying hello. Yeah, I got the TBM900, and I'm doing a FSE flight, and the flight was from Lexington, Kentucky to Birmingham, and The system is not letting me end this flight for FSE. First time I ever had this happen. So let's see. Birmingham. So I am at Birmingham. Resume flight. So let me try different. Let me try going to the gate. Um, this part is just so I can get paid for the flight from FSE. I've earned $2,000, not $2,000, $200,000 flying various flights, and I'm trying to save up enough virtual money to buy a virtual aircraft. And I could buy a Skylark or a Skyhawk right now, but that's not what I want. I want a a Pilatus. I want the PC6. Um, the PC6 and the TBM are similar aircrafts. They share a lot of the same performance features. The TBM is faster. The Pilatus, though, for FSE can hold almost twice the number of passengers than the TBM. I can only have 6 passengers on for the TBM, and I can have up to 11 if I put a passenger in the first officer seat on the Pilatus. So because of that, I can actually make more money. All right, cross the runway here. I think I can go cross. I think I can go cross. And I'm not really being careful to make sure that nothing's coming. I'm not clearing because for all intents and purposes, this flight is over. I just want to move the aircraft to a point where I can get get the virtual money that I've earned for this flight. And at the LPO, apparently it doesn't consider me being at the airport. So maybe if I move to this side of the airport and turn my brakes on, then it'll let me let the passengers off and earn the money. So let's see. All right, so get here on the apron. I was looking at a video the other day, and they was talking about how the media always talk about the tarmac, and I'm told that the term tarmac is not really used in in come on, you mean tell me I made this whole flight and I'm not going to get credit for it? The term tarmac is not really used in aviation. It's taxiway, runway, and apron. Because my thoughts was that apron was used in Europe and tarmac was used in the US. But apparently I was wrong about that. Okay, so don't look like I'm gonna get paid. I am gonna try going to the gate. Not sure that's gonna make any difference at this point, but I'm desperate. So, and I don't care how I get there. I'm tempted to go through the grass. but I'm not. And now I took off from Lexington, so I know there's no issue there. And while the sim got down to as slow as 5 frames per minute, there's no reason why I shouldn't. Yeah, see, I got a message saying that my brakes are hot because I'm not in beta range taxiing. I'm actually taxiing in using the brakes. And I know you probably can't read the little white writing at the top, but it says the brakes are hot. Delay takeoff for at least 15 minutes to allow brakes to cool off. And the reason is because you don't want to take off and pour those hot brakes into the into the well and start melting sheathing on the electrical stuff that runs through there. Okay, so parking brakes. Yeah, I'm not going to get paid for this. So apparently, let's try one more thing before we give up the ghost, and let's go to X Economy, open X Economy, and cancel. Yes, and yep. So what can I do? I have to either do this flight again, which I won't. Do a different flight at some point. Okay, so let's shut down this bad boy here. Let's see. So AP trims come off. Fuel is already on manual. Fuel pumps come off. Ignition and starter. I can skip that. Crash bar comes down, and panel lights can go off. And parking brake is on. AC, yeah, I've already turned the AC and the bleed off. Um, and I didn't do it according to plan. But when I turned that crash bar off, then there were some procedures that I should do. But I'm just gonna go ahead and turn the condition lever off. And let's see. Now, where is the okay? Condition lever comes off before the crash bar come down. I had that backwards. Okay, so cut that off, and we'll chalk. Oops, we'll chalk it up. Oh, there it is. Finish flight. There we go. And boom, I get paid. Yay! Usually, it don't take that long to before it register. And all switches on the DA's panel is down. Open all doors. Empty aircrafts. Okay, close all doors, and we are done. So, guys, I do appreciate you stopping by. Oh, that's Southern. Bye. Stopping by. Um, I do appreciate you stopping by. And let's do a raid. Let's raid Melvin Leroy, a friend of mine, a virtual friend of mine. And let's see if I can figure out this. I've done it before, and I just don't remember quite how to do it. Let's see. Settings, log out. Which one of these buttons do the rate? I bet you guys probably stream. It says I got 4 people with me. So let's go to dashboard here. And maybe that's what I need, where I need to go. Or maybe I need to be in, um, maybe I need to be not in Streamlabs, OBS, but in Twitch. So let's try going to Twitch and see if that helps. I'm still learning, as you can see. Um, Video channel, and all right. So share. Now I can hear myself since I'm logged in. Um, More options, report, share. Well, I'm not gonna do the raid because uh, if anybody knows how, then maybe you can share it in the chat. Let's see, refresh chat, 4 views. Well, edit your stream and title. Oh, I could do that. Um, I didn't know I could do that. I'd have done that before. TBM 900. I'm just going to call it TBM 900. Flight is over. And I'm still looking for the raid button. Okay. Dashboard, edit layout, things, editor. I don't know if it's done in Twitch or in Streamlabs. More options. Share my activity, channel, video produce, streams, payments, language. And I've done it once before. Let's see if I click on this guy. No, that just takes me to his stream. So, I hate not being, I don't want to be defeated. So, review recent raids. Okay. Clear chat, switch to none mod. I'm going to figure this out. Don't know how long you guys are going to stick around with me while I figure it out, but I am going to figure it out. And I need to see if I can't stop some of this echoing. The problem is I'm not sure which channel I need to use. Whether I need to use Twitch or Streamlabs. And edit your stream, CloudBot, things, App Store, record, start replay, end stream, and all right, show mode, my preferences. Man, this thing has a lot. So that's how you pause. So I'm learning. Of course, the problem is what I'm learning, I won't remember any of this stuff when I try to use it. Like I've done a raid before, and I figure can't figure out how to do it. Let me stop this thing from singing, from repeating what I'm saying. So annoying. Okay, speakers are off on that browser. And event stats, analytics, recent events, alert, all widgets, Cloudbox, merch, multi-stream university, website, apps, donation history, upgrade to Prime, and reaction clips, feature suggestions, affiliates. All right, well, I give up. I'm defeated. Um, usually, see. So I'm going to type in my browser how to Twitch raid, how to use raids, join, to help. And I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. Okay, for straightforward, okay. To start a raid, type raid followed by the name of the channel you want to raid. That ain't how I did it before, but let's try it. All right, slash raid and Melvin Leroy. Okay, looks like I'm ready to raid in 6 seconds. So it looks like it might work. And raid now. Okay, so wonder if I can remember that going forward. And let's turn this guy back on.
Hey Darren, what brings? Who am I? Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you, sir. Whoever you brought with you, welcome. We're just south of Lebanon. We're flying into the Lebanon kind of ski area here as part of the Boston Virtual Ski Trip event tonight. For number three, we'll slow 11816. Slow down, did he say? We can do that. Let's see here. Approach speed, I can go on approach, I can go 110. Let's see if I can get down close to that without it causing a bunch of problems here. Maybe 120 would be okay for us just to maintain straight and level. Yeah, we can go 110. We'll take it down there if we have to. We'll toss in a notch of flaps. Our ref speed is somewhere between 80 and 85. So it's not a super slow landing plane. It's not like a Cub that can land at 45 knots or something like that, but it does get stopped very quickly. It has beta prop and really, really good brakes. All right, we're getting there. So we will be, again, somewhere up in here. I think we're going to be getting a right-hand vector. And at that point in time, we will activate the RNAV approach. Probably also guys do a great job. I think that's calling out by name here. Where they have him branded. They have a lot of good controllers up here. Yeah, that's Jamshid Lovelace. Does a good job. Josh Nunn, another guy that I know of that does a great job up here. Evan Ryder, you might be familiar with him. He's kind of the one of the main people that organizes the big event that's happening in Las Vegas this year, the Flight Sim Expo. Lots of really, really good. Josh Marshall does a good job up here as well.